Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're firing up the conversation about chicken on a Blackstone griddle.
Yeah, perfect timing with the warmer weather coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've looked at this collection of 7 different recipes, and the idea isn't just to, read them out. We want to dig into why this method works so well
Right. What's the actual advantage?
and what makes these recipes stand out. So if you're aiming for faster meals, better outdoor cooking, or just some new chicken ideas, this should be helpful.
Definitely. We're drawing from that article, 7 Blackstone chicken recipes you need to try this year. And it makes some pretty bold claims.
Oh, yeah.
It really pushes the speed and especially the flavor you get from Blackstone. It says it's way more flavorful than like standard grilling.
Interesting. Significantly more flavorful. Okay, so let's explore that. What are the general advantages they point to right off the bat?
Well, the big one seems to be that restaurant quality sear. Because it's a flat top, you get total contact. That means faster cooking and really even browning. That browning, the Maillard reaction, that's likely where that extra flavor punch comes from.
Right, the chemical magic happening on the surface.
Exactly. And they mention speed, too, potentially up to 40% faster cooking than doing it on the stovetop.
40% faster. That's huge for a weeknight meal.
Yeah.
What is it about the flat top that makes it so much quicker?
It's that direct, consistent heat transfer. No gaps like on grill grates, you know. The whole piece of chicken is cooking evenly at the same time.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that helps with the browning, too, getting that nice, even color all over. Plus, you can cook a lot of chicken at once without the temperature dropping too much. Good for feeding more people.
Gotcha. All right, let's dive into the flavors. Recipe number 1, lemon garlic chicken. Sounds pretty classic.
Yeah, very classic. Chicken breasts, olive oil, garlic, lemon juice, and zest, which is nice and thyme.
So what makes that particularly good on the Blackstone? Is it just the speed?
Well, the speed helps lock in moisture, but also that direct heat really gets those aromatics going. The garlic, the thyme, the lemon cuts through it nicely. And they do suggest thighs if you want it juicier, or even using lime instead of lemon for a little twist. Shows the flexibility, you know?
Okay, cool. Next one moves over to Asia, an Asian-inspired teriyaki chicken.
Right. This one uses thighs, teriyaki sauce, honey, rice vinegar, ginger, garlic. Finished with sesame seeds.
So sweeter, savory, umami.
Yeah, and what's neat here is how that flat top lets the glaze, especially with the honey, get nicely caramelized.
Ah, right. You wouldn't get that quite the same way on grates.
Exactly, that little bit of sticky char. And the rice vinegar and ginger give it that authentic profile. They even suggest maple syrup if you don't have honey.
Good tip. And you could use breast meat, too, if you prefer.
Yep, they mentioned that as well.
Yeah.
Adaptable.
Okay, number 3 takes us Southwestern Blackstone chicken.
Yeah, this one's chicken breast with taco seasoning, bell peppers, onions, jalapeno if you like heat.
Sounds like fajitas, almost.
Kind of. And the great thing is cooking the veggies right there with the chicken. Everything mingles. The taco seasoning gives you that smoky spice. And the griddle puts a nice little char on the peppers and onions, sweetens them up.
Adds another layer.
Yeah.
And they suggest turkey cutlets as an option.
Yeah, a leaner swap that would cook up fast on the griddle, too.
Okay, moving on. Recipe 4 is BBQ griddle chicken. Drumsticks this time.
Classic BBQ flavors, BBQ sauce, bit of brown sugar, Worcestershire, and smoked paprika.
That smoked paprika must be key for getting that smoky flavor without a smoker, right?
Totally. It adds that hint.
Yeah.
And the direct heat hitting the sugars in the sauce and the brown sugar, that creates that nice caramelized, slightly smoky crust.
Sounds delicious. And drumsticks are usually pretty budget-friendly.
For sure. But they also say wings or thighs work great, too. Flexible.
Right. Let me jump across the pond, sort of, to Mediterranean herb chicken.
Yeah, really aromatic. Chicken breasts, olive oil, rosemary, oregano, thyme, garlic, lemon juice, and olives.
Olives, interesting addition.
Adds that nice brainy counterpoint. You know, it's a simple marinade, but those herbs really shine with the direct heat, and they offer a shortcut, too.
Oh, yeah.
Using Italian dressing, if you're short on time, gets you a similar vibe.
Smart.
Huh.
Okay, next up feels a bit like pub food, maybe. Buffalo Blackstone chicken.
Yeah, definitely game day vibes. Chicken tenders, buffalo sauce, butter, garlic powder.
Tenders cook fast anyway, so on a Blackstone.
Super quick, and that buttery, spicy buffalo sauce just works. Serve it with blue cheese or ranch, the classic cool down.
Of course.
And they point out you can basically make your own version with any hot sauce mixed with butter, so you can control the heat.
Nice. Okay, last one. Honey mustard griddle chicken.
Another great combo, chicken breasts, Dijon mustard, honey, apple cider vinegar, olive oil, and a little dried thyme.
Tangy and sweet.
Exactly. The Dijon brings the sharpness, honey the sweetness, vinegar adds complexity, thyme rounds it out.
And a variation here, too.
Yeah, using Greek yogurt for creamier sauce. Could add a nice tang, too, actually.
Huh. Interesting idea. Wow, that's a really diverse set of flavors, all from the same cooking method.
It really shows the versatility, doesn't it?
Definitely. Now let's circle back to that efficiency point. The article mentioned some pretty impressive time savings. Can you break that down?
Yeah, they report prep times around like 10 to 15 minutes, maybe because the marinades aren't super complicated.
Possibly.
And cook times of 15 to 20 minutes, which they say is way faster than, say, baking it in the oven.
Right.
So total time, you're looking at maybe 25 to 35 minutes for a full meal. And again, that speed comes from the consistent heat and cooking multiple pieces at once. That's where the claim of up to 40% faster cooking than stovetop comes in.
That speed is undeniably appealing. So what are the absolute must-do techniques to, nail this on the Blackstone?
Okay, few key things. Number one,
Yeah.
preheating. Got to get that griddle hot, 375 to 400 Fahrenheit. Let it heat up for 5-10 minutes.
Crucial for this here.
Absolutely. That's foundational. Then pat the chicken totally dry. Get rid of surface water.
Right. Water prevents browning. Steams it instead.
Exactly. They claim it makes a huge difference in how well it browns. And use a high smoke point oil on the griddle. Prevents sticking. Helps the crust.
Okay, dry chicken, hot oiled griddle. Got it. What about cooking times? How long per side?
They give estimates maybe 5 to 7 minutes a side for breasts, 6 to 8 for size. But honestly, the real key is internal temperature.
Thermometer time.
100%. You need to hit 165 degrees Fahrenheit for safety, non-negotiable.
Absolutely.
And then this is important too, let it rest for about 5 minutes after cooking.
Keeps it juicy, right.
Yeah, lets the juices redistribute. Makes it noticeably more moist, they say.
Good tips. Safety and juiciness. Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. What's the nutritional picture look like for these, on average?
The source gives averages per serving. Around 250 to 350 calories. Pretty decent protein, 30-35 grams. Fats in the 12-18 gram range.
Okay.
And carbs are relatively low, 5 to 15 grams. They do mention this is often lower carb than like breaded oven-baked chicken.
Yeah.
Sodium's around 400-600 milligrams.
Seems pretty standard for a main dish. And if people want to make healthier tweaks, the article had suggestions.
Yeah, some good ones. For lower sodium, think herb-infused oils, citrus zest, instead of just salt, can cut sodium significantly, apparently. Watching sugar, monk fruit sweetener is an option, lower fat. Skinless breasts are the obvious choice.
Right.
And, check your sauces and marinades for gluten if that's a need. For keto, they lean towards the lemon garlic or Mediterranean recipes, just watching any added sugars.
Great practical pointers. So chicken's cooked perfectly.
Yeah.
How do we serve it up?
Well, the easiest thing is often cooking veggies right there on the griddle alongside the chicken. Super convenient.
Yeah, it makes sense.
For low-carb sides, cauliflower rice or a simple salad works well, or warm tortillas for tacos, especially at that southwestern one.
Good call.
Quinoa or brown rice are good options too, soak up sauces nicely. And they had a presentation tip. Serve it on a nice wooden board, fresh herbs, lemon wedges. Makes it look instantly more appealing.
Little touches matter. Okay, to help us avoid messing up, what are the common mistakes people make with Blackstone chicken?
Number one is probably overcrowding the griddle.
Brings the temp down.
Yeah, then you steam instead of sear. Gotta give things space. Another one is flipping too soon. Before that nice crust forms, let it release naturally.
Patience.
Exactly. Also, uneven chicken thickness. Pound out those thicker breast parts so it all cooks evenly.
Right, prevents dry edges and raw middles.
Yep. And don't throw fridge cold chicken straight on. Let it sit out for maybe 15 minutes. Helps it cook more evenly too.
Good point.
And finally, don't crank the heat too high. You'll burn the outside before the inside is cooked. Find that medium-high sweet spot.
Valuable warnings there. What about storing leftovers? Assuming there are any leftovers.
Right. Airtight container in the fridge, good for up to 3 days. For longer, you can freeze it in portions for up to 2 months.
And it's good for meal prep.
Apparently, yeah. The source says these recipes are pretty popular for meal prepping, and for reheating, they suggest a skillet with just a tiny splash of water to keep it moist.
Nice. Okay, last bit. The article had an FAQ section. Any key things from that?
Yeah, a few recurring questions. Oiling the griddle, definitely
Yeah.
recommended. Better browning, less sticking.
Okay.
Thermometer use, absolutely essential for hitting that safe 165 degrees.
Right.
Cooking from frozen, they advise against it for even cooking. Thaw it first.
Makes sense.
Cleaning, scrape, wipe, re-oil while it's still warm, keeps it seasoned. And can you use these recipes on other griddles? Yes, but the Blackstone is noted for its particularly even heating.
Got it. So wrapping this up, it really sounds like the Blackstone offers a genuinely effective way to cook chicken. It's fast, adds a ton of flavor through that sear, and it's versatile.
Yeah, I think that's the main takeaway. The direct, consistent heat is the star, leading to that great texture and faster cooking. And these recipes show you can take that base technique in so many different flavor directions.
It really makes a strong case, especially for outdoor cooking or just speeding up dinner. It covers a lot of bases, quick meals, impressive flavor for guests, even meal prep. Plus the healthier angles.
Absolutely, it's a compelling package.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How one tool, like a flat-topped griddle, can kind of unlock so much potential in terms of efficiency and taste for something as common as chicken.
Mm,
Makes you wonder, what other simple tools or techniques out there could have a similarly big impact we might be overlooking? Something to chew on.
definitely something to think about.